I heard you like facetious. Want some dream team in your facetious?
Actually, what really happened, right? Here's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, we didn't record an episode of the Dream Team. We missed the episode because of the holiday. So we all got together on Friday and we all did single simulcast with his other co-host, and all of us got together and did that instead. And then I was, we're doing our shout outs and shit at the end. And I was talking about facetious, and they were like, well, we ain't never been on facetious. And I was like, I told y'all when it started. So, and so they was like, you know what? We showing up on Thursday. And that's how they got on the show. They were just like, we showing up on Thursday. So that's how they ended up on the show. But I think it went really well. Like it's really hard when you're on a show like the Dream Team. The Dream Team is a show where literally what happens is exactly what happens as soon as we're all on the call. The moment we are all on the call, magic just happens. And most of the time we don't have a whole lot of topics to discuss. Like, it's not like anybody really writes a whole bunch of shit down. I mean, I know Rashani does, but like, what ends up happening is exactly what is what you get on the podcast is these three talkative dudes, and we feed off each other so well that it can go places. So we just let it run, and it's really dope. I enjoy that show, even though like sometimes it runs a little bit long for me.
Yeah.
Because that's why I'm like, please, let's be at an hour for all of these other shows that I do. So yeah, that's a rolling start. This is Scarcasm, not facetious, not the Dream Team, just Scarcasm. Hi.
Scarcasm. What's up?
Chase is in the building, of course.
I am.
And yeah, we just gonna spend about an hour and talk about ourselves. We're awesome.
Yeah, that we are, man. We do the thing.
Yeah. How's your week been?
It's been pretty good. Yeah, and we can jump over community because I was going to ask everyone if they had any questions, but I totally forgot. So there's really nothing from the community right now. The funeral went well. They had like a viewing and all that, and everyone kind of socialized and all that. And one weird thing at the viewing, I found out that a son of like some sort of distant relative is like a world champion Call of Duty player.
Really?
Yeah, he like won the world championship in 2014, won like $400,000. He's on, his name's like Aches or something.
Wow.
Or it's like thing is Aches. So that's just kind of weird. I mean,
but it's weird, but it's also kind of cool that you got a family member that is like somebody to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, like it's one thing to feel like that you're a good podcaster and, but it's another thing to be a fucking Call of Duty champion. You
right.
know what I mean? Like, it's a completely different set of circumstances. Like, for a podcast, it's just us talking to each other. For a Call of Duty player, like, he has to get out there and compete against people. And that's fucking dope.
Yeah, I don't think it's, I mean, a lot of it is hard work and stuff, but I think it's more, people are gifted guitar players or whatnot. There's something there to where, like, you can practice and play. I know people that play Call of Duty every day, all day, and they're average players. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's some people that are just like, it's like their hand-eye coordination is just like so crazy.
Or it could be something else wrong with them. Like, what's his name? The guitarist for Red Hot Chili Peppers, John Frusciante.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said, like, he is a incredibly gifted guitarist, but he can't figure his way around a car. He can't drive a car. Like, it's just a block for him. Like, he cannot figure out how to drive a car. But you put a guitar in his hand, and he is a virtuoso. But sit him in the driver's seat of a car, and he has no idea what to do.
Yeah, he's actually pretty overlooked on, like, great guitarists. He's a really good guitarist. And I guess it's overlooked just because you think of Red Hot Chili Peppers a lot. Even though they do have
You think of when you think of Red Hot Chili Peppers, you think of Anthony Kiedis and you think of Flea.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, there's some things that were like some Chili Peppers songs like sound simple, but then you go and try to play them, and they're really not. It's like they're really complicated, but they sound simple. But anyway, that was a complete tangent. But yeah, the funeral went well. It was kind of, we actually had the service under the tent rather than like at the funeral home or at the church or anything. And it did start raining, but we were under the tent, so it was all good. But it won't really rain too bad, so it was all good. That's what she wanted, so that's what we did. But yeah, and then a little change of pace on Memorial Day. My buddy Max and his wife Colleen came over for Memorial Day, and I made some ribs, did some corn in the oven. I got this thing. Amber got me this thing that's like it's like a grill plate that you can put in the oven, or you can like cook pancakes on it, like on the stove. It's like this, basically this big griddle, and on the side's like a grill that it's like, it's just this big plate. So I used that instead of my grill's kind of on the fritz. But anyway, I cooked the ribs like in the slow cooker for like 6 hours, and then I sauced them up again and put them on that to like kind of get it a little toasty, you know what I mean? But yeah, they were really good. And then the corn I also did in the oven, but wrapped in aluminum foil, like encased in butter, and that was really good. Okay. I put a little bit of garlic and a little bit of Slap Your Mama. I don't know if you know that seasoning, but it's like it's a Louisiana Cajun seasoning, but it was really good. You don't need much. It'll light you up, but it's got a good flavor if you don't use too much. But anyway, that was cool. Max had a little problem. I have other family members to where, if they eat certain things like, I guess like hard meats like ribs or steak or something, has trouble going down. So he didn't really get to eat much, and he didn't really drink much beer, which kind of sucked, but he said it got better, but he really needs to get that checked out, see if it's not something going on there. But yeah. So yeah, this new mouse is really good, man. I only paid $6 for it. That's my $6 mouse off Amazon.
They can't see it.
I was showing it to you, but yeah. But they have seen it because I did link it in the PC Discord. So if you click on that, if you're looking for a mouse and you don't want to pay over $10, it's been a really good mouse to me. I mean, I'm no like freaking Counter-Strike esports player that needs some sort of crazy DPI or whatnot. But for your casual gamer that plays with mouse and keyboard, or anybody that just uses a mouse, it's a good mouse. $6. The cheapest one at Best Buy was $30.
Right.
I bought this one.
My mouse that I'm using right now, I think it was about $30. It's not even like weirdly designed. I mean, it looks like a normal freaking mouse. I don't know if I can get it all the way up here without knocking everything over. It's just a mouse, but it's a gaming mouse. It's a SteelSeries mouse.
SteelSeries makes good shit.
And I can change the colors. Look, here's the thing. I only really wanted to change the colors. That's all I really wanted. I wanted something that was labeled as a gaming mouse for playing like RimWorld and stuff like that. And I wanted to make sure that it was a wired mouse, and I wanted to have one that changed colors. Yeah,
this one like changes colors. Like it just, I don't know if you can see it, but I see it.
I bought this one on my girlfriend's behalf in order for Christmas. Like, she was really busy around Christmas. She was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm going to go to the store and find out." So I was like, you know what? I'm getting a keyboard and mouse. Because the keyboard and mouse that came with this PC were well, the mouse wasn't too bad, but the keyboard was crap sticks. Like, oh my God, that keyboard was crap sticks. And it was like tiny. Like, it was, I mean, I got really big hands. Like, these, I can't use a smaller keyboard than just a normal size keyboard. It was smaller. It didn't have the footies to prop it up a little bit. It just had a hump in the back of it. To lift it up a little bit. It just had a hump. It didn't really have the footies. Like, it was just not a good keyboard. Oh, it might have had the footies, but it didn't go very high.
Right.
But yeah, and then I got the really big mouse pad for no reason at all. I just wanted to complete the set. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I'm gonna get a Steel Series mouse pad that's way too big for my desk.
Yeah, I put me a keyboard on the wish list too. I mean, my keyboard's fine. It's just when I probably got it from, I don't even know where I got it. I've just had it. I used it on the 360 whenever I wanted to type out messages,
Right.
and so just a USB mouse to just use for whatever. So
Yeah,
I really want a mechanical one because when you're WASD, you need that.
yeah. This Steel Series one that I have is really nice, but it's the cheapest Steel Series, and I didn't realize until I got it home and plugged it up and all of that other stuff that this one doesn't change colors. It's just blue.
You like blue though?
Yes, that's the reason why I kept it. That's the reason why I kept it. Because this one just is blue, so I changed my mouse to blue and everything's okay.
Cool.
Here's the problem with Steel Series though.
What's that?
The software that you use for Steel Series has updates all the damn time, and they are fucking annoying. Like, bruh, it is.
I lost all that.
Oh,
I'm losing everything.
Oh shit! Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Well, the software updates often, like like really often. The software updates way too much, and it's like, bruh, you don't need to update my software every 3 days for my fucking mouse and keyboard, dog. Like, it's not that serious. Long as it operates as a mouse and keyboard, we don't have any issues. So why would I do anything else? Like, why would I need updates all the time for a fucking mouse and keyboard? Now I get it. Maybe the people who have the better mice and keyboards may need better updates and all that kind of stuff. But I got the low end shit. Like, bruh, I don't need all this. Stop fucking doing this.
You could turn the auto updates off, or I don't know.
No,
and
it downloads. It downloads and it tells me when it's ready. I don't auto update anything on my PC. I do the download and tell me when it's ready thing, because I mean the biggest culprit is Windows itself.
Yeah.
Like, Windows will pop up and be like, yo, dog, you got to update. And I'm like, all right, cool, I guess. And then it'll be like, we told you got to update, right? And it'll be like, all right, cool, I guess, later. And then it's like, you know what? Update right fucking now. And it's like, what are you doing? I told you, don't worry about it. It's just Windows. And Windows does that shit. And it's fucking annoying. Like, bruh.
Windows is like, okay, all right, I give you an hour. And then after a while, it's like, you procrastinating motherfucker. Yeah. We're doing this right now.
and then the worst part, like, there's a meme where it's like a picture of Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever with a Windows symbol over his face. It's like, oh, I just need to restart my computer, and it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, like, you just activated my trap card. But that's how it feels sometimes. It's like, yo, I don't really want to do this update. And here's the worst thing about the updates, right?
Uh-huh.
The very worst thing about the updates, and then we'll move on. But well, I do have something I want to talk about. Back to the Red Hot Chili Peppers thing. Remind me.
Okay.
If you are turning your computer off and you say just update and shut down, and you're like, cool, it's updated, everything's done, we cool. Nope, because the moment you turn that bitch back on, it's like, hey, we're installing your updates. I thought you did this already. Like, what the fuck are you doing, computer? Like, I said update and shut down. That means do the whole fucking update and then shut down. Nope, we gonna do the other part of your fucking update when you start your computer. So now I gotta wait for my fucking computer. And it's like, this is some bullshit. But, okay, Red Hot Chili Peppers, you were talking about how you try to play the songs, and it's, when you listen to it, it sounds really simple.
Yeah.
And then when you try to play it, you're like, holy crap, there's a lot here. I learned that the hard way. When I play Guitar Hero and Rock Band on normal. Like, I can't navigate that extra button. Even though Rock Band will throw that orange in on your ass periodically just for shits and giggles. But there's what's it called? Snow? Heyo? The Heyo song?
Heyo?
Yeah, the Red Hot Chili Peppers song. Hey yo, Listen what I say, oh. I got
Is it called Heyo?
I think it's called Snow or something like that.
Okay.
And then in parentheses, it says Hey Yo.
Okay.
But like that song, you listen to that song and it doesn't sound like a whole lot. It doesn't sound very complicated. It was like, okay, we can do this. But whoever is playing guitar, even if you're playing on normal, you don't realize through that whole song, the guitarist, like it doesn't sound like it's doing much, but the guitarist is going the whole fucking song. Like, and you're like, bruh, I didn't think this is what I was signing up for. You know what I mean? Like that happens through the whole fucking song. And who, if you have somebody playing guitar that's not very good, but they're trying to play on normal, that is struggle-tastic. For like, especially if you're playing Rock Band and you've been drinking a little bit, man, that thing is struggle-tastic. You better have no fail on if you got some novices playing Guitar Hero Rock Band. You playing Rock Band and you got some novices playing. Kind of stay away from that song or turn on no fail. But see, here's the problem with no fail. Okay, you don't fail out of the song. But if you have somebody that's really bad at the song, like you're missing that one part of the song and it makes it all sound fucked up.
Right.
So like you don't actually get to hear the song because that one person is fucking up on their instrument. And even with no fail on, if you have a bad drummer, it fucks everything up.
Yeah. But no fail's cool because, I mean, it's party mode, you know. Yeah. I mean, and that's the best time for Rock Band and Guitar Hero's party mode.
Absolutely. I always thought that Rock Band should have did what Guitar Hero did when they made Guitar Hero 5. Because, you know, like, have you ever played Guitar Hero 5?
I think I played 3. I didn't play past 3.
Guitar Hero 5, I think it's 5. I don't think it's 4. It could be 4. It could be 4 or 5. But when you start the game just starts. And they will just pick a random song and your band or your avatar will just start playing, and you can jump in if you want to, or you can exit out of that and go to the menu, but they will just start playing a song without you until you come in. Like you can jump in on the song at any point, but it does like a jukebox mode where it just, you know, your band is rocking out, just playing a random song from your list. It's actually kind of cool, with the exception of like, I don't really love a lot of my Guitar Hero songs. Like that's the only catch. Like I don't really love this shit. A lot of that song, like, you know, like it's cool to have, but I don't necessarily want to play a whole bunch of Tool songs. You know what I mean? Like I'm alright on Tool, and you know, like people really, you know, people who love Tool really fucking love Tool. Like,
I like Tool.
Yeah, like people who like Tool, like really like Tool. There's one of those things where it's like people either really love it or like really like, nah, we cool. Like I don't know too many people that are in the middle on Tool.
I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, I dig them. I don't think that they are as groundbreaking and artsy as everyone makes them out to be, because I know a lot about other musics and stuff, and when you start finding other, like, even more progressive styles of music, Tool kind of seems pretty progressive light. You know? Yeah,
it's progressive for dummies.
Yeah.
Progressive for dummies. That is the show title. Damn it. Now I gotta stop to type this. Damn it. But yeah. So man, I want to play some Rock Band so bad. I want to play some drums. I have not played drums in quite some time. I haven't played drums since I moved, which was.
Can you play real, like, a drum kit?
A little bit. I'm not very good. I was still in the early stages when I had to stop my lessons. So I'm still pretty early in that, and I gave my electronic drums to my daughter. I did have a Alesis drum kit. Because I gave them to her because, one, I couldn't continue my lessons, and two, I have nowhere to put them in here. Like for the people that see me on like Facetious or the live shows and stuff like that, you can see this place is packed. Like there is no place for me to put a decently sized electronic drum kit anywhere in here.
Right.
So So I gave them to my daughter because I was going to get her lessons, and then at the last minute she decided she didn't want the lessons, but the drums were already there. The drums were already in Maryland, so I couldn't really do much about that.
Yeah, one of my favorite metalcore bands growing up was Zayo, and they have an album has all electronic drums, and that album was very polarizing for a lot of fans, but I really dug it. And which is funny, like one of their biggest like live songs, like crowd participation, like their closing song is from that album. So like everyone's favorite song is from that album, even though most people don't like the album. But I thought it sounded cool. You can definitely tell it's different, you know.
Yeah.
But they made it work. And they work. I don't think they're still a Christian band, but they were, for most of their career, they were a Christian band.
Yeah,
but
you know what's cool? I when I was at home, I went to a lot of live shows, like free live shows in the park type thing with my girl, because she, there's a band that she really likes, and she goes out to the other sessions and see other bands and stuff. The one time we went out to the museum, because outside of the museum they do these shows on Thursdays, I think. And this one band, I can't remember the name, but they were using electronic drums.
Mm-hmm.
And so like when they switched to like a rap song, he actually like switched his kit, and it had like the lows, like the bass drum was like a hip hop bass drum and all of that kind of stuff, with like the super bass and all of that other stuff. Like I thought that shit was cool because they were able to switch back and forth between different genres of music, and like like they did like one of the songs they did, I think it was like "Get Low" by the Yin Yang Twins. And then like they did like a Biggie song and stuff.
Isn't that a Lil Jon song?
No, Lil Jon produced a song, and he is on it, but that is a Yin Yang Twin song.
Oh, huh.
He doesn't actually rap on the song, I don't think, and he talks at the very end, but he doesn't rap on the song.
Well, I guess that is the song that spawned the Lil Jon doesn't do anything but say yeah, because that's pretty much what he did during that song.
That's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss Crunk. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I miss Crunk. But Crunk caused one of the biggest tragedies, I think. One of the biggest tragedies of music history, in my personal opinion. And this is only my personal opinion.
Uh-huh.
When Crunk hit, it hit hard. And
right.
Everything became about Crunk. But the Bubba Sparxxx album came out, and it was fantastic, but it hit right as Crunk hit, and Crunk swallowed that album whole. And that Bubba Sparxxx album was greatness. Even with the country music samples and all of that other stuff, like the album was great. I need to find the name of it. I need to find the name of it, because the album was absolutely great. It's Deliverance. The Bubba Sparxxx album Deliverance hit at the same time Crunk did, and Crunk just completely swallowed his album, because it wasn't Crunk. So
yeah.
Ain't nobody care at that point, but that jump was it was amazing. And another thing about Bubba Sparxxx, shout out to Bubba Sparxxx. I always like Bubba Sparxxx, except for that one song that was on like Call of Duty or some shit like that, and they put it on the Video Game Awards, and I was like, what the hell is this shit? I'm a Timbaland stan, so like the Timbaland production and all that kind of stuff is really like that's me. I like that shit. The guy who did one of the best odes to a woman's large behind married a former beauty queen without any behind at all.
Yeah.
So, like, how does that happen? But I don't know. I think his
love happens, man.
Yeah, I guess love happens. I think his wife was like a former like Miss Kansas or some shit like that. Like, she was an actual like beauty queen.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
But yeah, speaking of hip hop, I actually I I listened to the new Pusha T, and I really dig that. The new album. It's really good.
Shout out to VA. I didn't get through it. I started it, but then, I didn't make it all the way through it.
How do you not make it all? It's very short, and it kind of flows together.
Yeah, because
it's like one song.
It's less than 30 minutes.
Right.
But like, what happened was I started to listen in a car on the way to work.
Yeah.
And like my commute to work is like 8 minutes at most.
See, that's the thing, man. That's the thing I miss with like CDs and shit. Because you pop a CD in, it starts playing. Next time you get in the car, it starts playing. You don't have to do shit. But when you got it on your phone, you listen to it on Spotify, Google Music, you have to go in and hit play or remember where you were if you went to something different or whatnot. Or you try to search for something and you'll just like be lost in a sea of music.
Right.
Instead of just having something in your car that just, in the age of like having everything automated, putting the CD in your car was the most automated way to listen to music. It just played.
Right. And like back in the day, if you had a CD changer, you were like a god among men.
Right.
So, yeah. My week this has been a very weird week for me. I didn't do really anything for the holiday. I stayed home. I painted a little bit. And I ended up putting some of the paintings up in the different places. The week 2 ended. My friend Tiffany won week 2. Week 3 for the contest is up, and in order to because I'm still making stuff. I still have so much stuff. I actually gave both of them 2 paintings each. So they're both getting 2 paintings in the mail instead of 1 because
nice.
I got so much shit. I gotta start really getting rid of some of this stuff because I have them just piled up everywhere, and I don't really have very many places around here. Like I just said about the drums, like I don't have very many places to put them. So, so I did take a whole bunch of pictures and stuff like that. So I'm going to start putting them up on the Facebook page, Facebook.com/PTCAC. And I'm going to start selling some stuff off. If you see something you like, make an offer. Even if it's from the previous weeks, I'm going to put in which ones are gone. And, anything else can be sold. I'm selling them for really cheap because right now I really need to get some of this space back before I get yelled at anymore.
Cool deal, man.
Yeah. But yeah, so I didn't really do anything. Now work has been kind of weird because we had Monday off.
Uh-huh.
And then my coworker noticed yesterday that when we all punched in on our little time clock thing, we all started on Monday. Like we all started punching on Monday, so our time clock cards are all going to say Monday through Thursday because we didn't remember, or it was just out of habit. We just scanned on Monday on our first day back. So yeah, so like the person who does the payroll, good luck, buddy. Like you got to interpret all of this shit.
Oh, before we move on from the painting, Amber hadn't watched your newest video, so I just put it on the second screen while she was playing one of our games or whatnot, and through the video, after the video is over, it auto-played other videos that are like yours, right? Uh-huh. And you should give this a try. Someone did one to where they were pouring into a colander. I
bought a strainer from Dollar Tree to totally fucking do that shit. I did. I bought a strainer. From Dollar Tree. And then I seen someone pour through a sink strainer.
Mm-hmm.
And that painting looked amazing. The one that I really want to do though is you cut the bottom of a soda bottle,
mm-hmm.
and then you pour in the middle so that it falls down all of the ridges and kind of creates like a flower.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one that I really want to do. But I totally did buy that. I totally did buy one of those in Dollar Tree last week. It's just when everything got put away, I was asking my girl, like, where did you put that? And she was like, oh no, it's in there. And I was like, yeah, it's in the room where all of the paintings and shit are stored, and there's shit everywhere, and there was no way I was gonna find that. But yeah, I absolutely seen that. I've seen some weird stuff. I've seen a person that actually made a thing. Okay, so what they did was they took PVC pipe. They took like three or so PVC pipes, and the little caps at the end. They drilled holes in those, and they pour their paints in the PVC pipe. Like they basically zip tied them all together, and then poured the paint into there, and do like what would normally be like a flip and drag, where you put them in a cup, flip the cup over, pour the paint around it, and then drag it through. Well, you don't really have to flip it because you just put it into the thing with the PVC pipe. You put a piece of tape or something on the end to hold it. Then you remove the tape, and then you just drag the pipes through it.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some real crazy stuff. Like, one of the things that I want to do a paint pour onto like wooden letters. Like, I would do like a M, of course, because me, Michael, that's kind of my name. It's a little weird to be Michael on podcast, because y'all know me as Scarfinger. We had this conversation on Facetious, or right before Facetious, and then there was one part on it that was on the show. But like, it's weird having that dichotomy of being Michael everywhere except for when I'm online. When I'm online, I'm Scarfinger. But yeah, I want to do some stuff like that. I want to get into some other stuff. I got into doing swiping. Mm-hmm. The last couple of paintings that I put in the Discord and on the website, you put the paints onto a canvas with like silicone and all that other stuff to make it do cells, and then you pour another color over one edge, and then you kind of drag it across, and it makes a very different type of painting. I'm very bad at it right now. And the thing that I bought like a paint scraper, and it was plastic and it wasn't flat. So I'm really messed up my first one that I did. But I'm enjoying, like, right now I'm in the experimental stage where I'm still doing paintings, a couple times a week, but I'm really just trying to learn different ways to do it, and it's all still kind of fun. What do you keep looking at behind you?
I keep hearing something, like some like click click click. I don't know.
You watch way too many horror movies. Way too many horror movies. Yep, that's it. All right, so.
Well, hold on one second.
Okay, so let's move on to our the things we've done this week. Over the past week, I have actually played some video games.
Me too, man.
I actually played 3 different video games.
Amazing. That's like a feat.
Yeah.
Medal.
I played 3 different video games over the past week. So that's kind of, it's like, wow, like, dude, you're awesome. So are we going to talk about games first, or are we going to talk about what we have been watching first?
Let's go into games first.
Okay. I'll let you go first, because, I mean, one of my 3, you already know what it is, so it ain't really too much of me saying it.
But yeah, still getting through Valhalla. I haven't played it in a little bit because, for one, most games like that, it's kind of like save anywhere, you know what I mean? But that game, it's like when you're on shift or whatever, you pretty much have to play through that shift. You save on your break, you save when you go home. So if you want to play it, you kind of have to break out 30 minutes to get through your little shift or whatever. So I haven't really played too much of that, but I had got on a sale Nex Machina, which is a twin-stick shooter. And I do dig twin-stick shooters. I don't play many of them. But this one, it's made by the same guys who did, like, Alien Nation, Dead Nation, Resogun, a lot of those modern, like, really pretty twin-stick shooters and stuff. Uh-huh. And this one's, like, a cyberpunk one, and, like, it's really colorful and, like, super addictive. I played for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, but I could see me kind of really getting into that game. But this is one that you might not. Well, I'll go ahead and say Well, I have been kind of getting through a little bit more of my second playthrough of Persona 5, which has been pretty cool. And, but yeah, the main one that I'd like you to play a little bit is I got back into Destiny 2 a little bit.
Really? Why would you do that to yourself?
Because, the new DLC came out.
I never bought any of the DLC.
I had already as well played through it. So I didn't, so I finished that. And the reason that I stopped playing wasn't because like I was like fuck Destiny or anything. It was really you didn't get the DLC and you were one of my main people to play with, and I just had Riley, and I needed games that I can pause, for the time being. And so now it's getting more into the flow of everything's kind of to normal to where he's like a little older. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm going to play through this Destiny 2 expansion. So I was playing through that, and I finished Osiris, and I played like the first mission of the new DLC, and it was like right before the cutoff for the weeklies and stuff. So I did that stuff, and I leveled up like crazy because I hadn't played in like forever. So just normal shit was like freaking light years over my shit. So I went from like 315 to like 340 in like an afternoon.
Okay.
But and I did find another Destiny 2 player that was like pretty cool on Destiny to where he's like, fuck all the haters, I have fun, so and it was a guy that I play Magic with at the event Horizons. So yeah, be kind of cool.
Let me ask you a question.
What's
when it
up?
comes to like stuff like Magic and stuff like that, how do you play? I mean, outside of playing it in a video game form, how do you play that game if you're not in the same place with your people? Like, is the video game the only way to do that? So, like, if I have a bunch of cards, I can only really go to like my local comic book place and play there. Like, how do you? Is there a way you can play that?
You could probably play it over Skype. You just have to like really be really trustworthy that you're doing what you're saying you're doing, you know what I mean? But because like when you're in person, they know if you're like, oh, this taps for 2 mana and it really only taps for 1, they can be like, dude, get out of here, that's freaking basic land. Fuck right. You. So like so yeah, I guess you could, but the best thing about playing Magic is that you're actually unconnected and you're playing face to face with someone you care about, like some close friends or whatnot. So
yeah, I think during the summer, which the summer with my daughter is going to start in a few weeks here, I think I'm going to try to play some Pokemon with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get my own cards. She got her own deck, I got my own deck, and I don't want you don't be going in my deck for nothing. I'm gonna get some murder death kill in my Pokemon deck. Oh, speaking of Pokemon, I'm not gonna talk about that new Pokemon shit that was just announced. Do you know that they made a Jurassic World game that's like Pokemon Go?
No.
I was so my coworker brings his Switch to work, but I mean he has way more time to play than I do. Because he doesn't do this. He's at a level above me, and once his job is done, he's just kind of chilling. So he plays Skyrim on his Switch all the time. So I was like, you know what, I should get some stuff for my phone. So I was just kind of looking around. I didn't really download anything, but I was just kind of looking around, and I saw this game. I saw a Jurassic World game, and I was like, huh. That's kind of cool. What kind of game is this? Because I played the Jurassic World the Jurassic Park builder a couple of times, and I can't wait till the game comes out. Oh man, that's gonna be awesome. But so I played that, and then I saw this Jurassic World game, and I was like, okay, so what's this? And it's basically Pokemon Go with dinosaurs.
Cool. That's
yeah. I mean, it's alright. I mean, it's cool. Like I don't know how much I mean, if I would actually use it, because I got out of Pokemon Go pretty early. Like when it became a big thing, I was in there. Like we would actually go to places where we knew we can get a whole bunch of Pokemon and just kind of walk around places and knew where Pokemon were going to be, and like big like city centers type places.
Pokemon is more nerdier than Magic.
I think it's all nerdy to me. Because I never was into Pokemon. Like, you know, by the time Pokemon came out, I was fucking. So, like, why would I give a shit about Pokemon? But, like, I do want to play the game. I do want to play the card game and learn how to play the card game with my daughter. Maybe just as a thing to do, like, so when she goes back home, we can still play. Like, that's why I asked you about the Magic thing.
Right.
Because I know Magic is pretty much the extension of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's the extension of Pokemon cards. But if we do the Magic thing, I'd much rather play it in a video game form.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to buy 2 of them.
Right.
And I'm not really that keen on buying 2 copies of Magic the Gathering. But if it saves me on not having to buy a bunch of cards, sure.
Well, Magic is how you would, like, make your daughter hate you. Because I know you, if you got into Magic, you would be like, I'm going to make a deck that she can't do nothing. You know?
Yeah. Well, see, that's why we do it in a video game, because on some level that's, like, checked. And as much, you know, if she plays more, like, she can get a deck just as great as mine. But, you know, of course, like, it's once your child becomes a toddler, it is their job to learn how to beat you. It is not your job to let them win.
Right.
So that's how I feel. Like, you got to get good enough at this to.
That shit happens overnight, though. Like, it was like last year you were kicking their ass, and all of a sudden they were whopping the floor with you in Mortal Kombat, and you're like, where the fuck did this come from?
It's happening right now with the homie Ace. Ace posted a video where he was playing Halo 5 with his son, and his son has to keep rescuing him. The son keeps having to rescue him, and he's just like, damn, like, this really is happening to me, where my son keeps having to pick me up while playing Halo. Like, I've been playing Halo for years. I've been playing Halo longer than this little nigga been alive. You know, like, that's how you feel sometimes. And so,
right.
I mean, you wouldn't say nigga, but like, that's how you feel. Like, but like, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to hit that point. But I know I'm going to hate it.
Speaking of that a little bit, did you hear, I was listening to, shout out to Major Linux, I was listening to his podcast, and they were bringing up a thing to where Kendrick Lamar brought up this white girl in, like, Alabama up to sing Mad City, and she sung it legit, and he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I'm like, so what's your opinion on that? Like,
okay. Here's my opinion on this.
He kind of baited her, you know?
Okay. So, here's the thing. I think it was her right in that moment to say it. But it was his responsibility to say, calm down. Like I said, if you say nigga in front of black people, like, it's a, you know, like, most black people are not going to get upset enough to fight you. Like, there's a few people that might. But, like, you know, the most that you'll probably get from somebody like me is like, come on, man, don't do that. Like, and it's in that instance, it's kind of your responsibility to say, come on, don't do that. But, and then, you know, then she almost let it slip again. But here's my problem with it. After Alabama won the championship, there's a video, you can find this on YouTube. There's a video where, there's people in, like, a square or something in Alabama. That song comes on, and it's a sea of white people, and every time the word nigga comes up in that song, they say that word as hard as they possibly can. And I saw that at the time, and I shared it on Facebook. Nobody fucking cared. So when this shit happened, I said, where the hell were y'all when I posted a sea of white people singing the same song? I mean, it's a literal sea of white people, and every time that word comes up, they say it as hard as they possibly can. And I'm like, so, like, you could, if and, like, I was mostly speaking to the other people. I wasn't necessarily speaking to Kendrick Lamar because, like I said, it's a responsibility for him to say, come on, yo. But it's not, you know, she still has the right in that moment. She has the right to say it because you invited her on stage to do your song. And why would she censor herself during your song on stage with you? You know what I mean? Like, this is my moment. This is my moment to be Kendrick Lamar beside Kendrick Lamar. So I'm going to be as much Kendrick Lamar as possible.
Right. Because like even me, like I feel uncomfortable. Like even something tame like Common or something. Like I'm in the car. If it's blasting, even if I'm not saying it, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Like almost like that I'm listening to it loud to where other people can hear it. It feels like I'm saying it. I don't know if that's just my like.
So you have your Office Space moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, damn, it feels good to be a gangster. And then a black person walk past and you turn your music down. But like I said, like in most cases, the most that's gonna happen to you is a come on, bro, don't do that. But I don't think either of them were wrong. I don't think either of them were wrong. But if the people who were upset about it, first of all, you have to understand that if in that moment it's his responsibility to say, "Come on, yo," and
you're breaking up again.
I don't know. I mean, I'm fine to me. Like I can hear you.
You're good now. You're good now.
And in that moment, it is her responsibility to be as much Kendrick Lamar as possible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't think either of them are wrong in that moment. Now, I think that, you know, there's a little bit of that Alabama video that's dead wrong because, like, you know, it's a sea of white people, so they're not gonna feel judged by it. So when they get to that word, they all say it as loud and as hard as possible. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That made me feel a little bit uneasy. But at the end of the day, they're just singing a song that you put out there. And like you have to be responsible for the fact that you put that out there.
Cool.
So I don't feel no kind of way about it. This Roseanne shit is funny though.
What is something about?
She called a black person. She called a black person an ape. And then her show got canceled.
That was fast.
She sent out a tweet saying that person looked like the I can't remember the exact words, but she said that lady looks like the cross between the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes.
She went like I thought she was pretty freaking progressive at one point. No, all of a sudden she 180'd.
When she did that run for presidency a few years ago, she went hard for the.
She went hard R.
Yeah, she went hard R. She went hard R. And then somebody unearthed some pictures of her dressed up like Hitler. It's really bad. But here's my problem with the whole thing, and I didn't get to say this on Facetious because we talked about it for a little bit. My problem with the whole thing is the people who are on her side are blaming liberals. I'm like, how the fuck can you blame liberals? Like, what the fuck did liberals do? She did this shit to herself. What do we have to do with this? Because let's be honest, her show coming back, for some people it was nostalgia. For the rest of us, as soon as she said who she supported, we was out from the beginning. I'll put this on Facebook. I put this on Facebook too. But we were out from the beginning. As soon as she said that her character is a Trump supporter, I was like, yeah, we out. And I watched that very, very uncomfortable interview where she did on one of the late night talk shows. And I think it was Kimmel. I could be wrong, but I think it was Kimmel, where her and John Goodman were there, and she was talking about her Trump stuff. And, John Goodman is not a Trump supporter. And if you just watch that and you see just how uncomfortable he is with all of this and the faces that he's making, he's trying his hardest not to say anything, but he is making some faces like, this bitch crazy. For real. But he ain't about to fuck up the money. What she did was fuck up the money. That's what she did. She fucked up.
But isn't that the number one thing not to do as a Republican is fuck up the money?
Exactly.
Capitalism, man. You don't fuck up the money.
Don't fuck up the money. That's all she had to do was not fuck up the money. And I think all of this, I think the success of the show, because it was still pretty successful. But let's be honest, ABC, Like we said this in facetious, but ABC is owned by Disney. So like even if your show is like super successful, they own Star Wars and Marvel and ESPN. Like no matter how successful your show is it's nothing compared to those things. Like nothing she can do can compare to Black Panther or the Avengers alone.
Right.
Those are $1 billion franchises. You mean to tell me even if you have $1 million franchise that you do something stupid and we're not gonna cut your ass?
They cut PewDiePie.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get away from us. Like you do something this stupid and you fuck up the money. You got to get away from us. And I don't even, and like it wasn't the liberals that did this. Like she's throwing blame everywhere, including Ambien, which the company that makes Ambien responded. It was like, yeah, our drugs do a whole lot of things. We make a lot of drugs, but our drugs don't cause you to be racist. Like that's crazy for like the drug maker to be like, bruh, I'm gonna need you not to do that, not to us. But she's throwing all of this stuff out there. But the real problem was like some of the advertisers were gonna start having some issues. So like you start that's fucking with the money. You can't fuck with the money. And that's the end of it. Don't fuck up the money. And she did. For over 200 people that worked on that show, they all got to find new jobs now. Now I did see an article where they're thinking about bringing back everybody else except her, but that's really hard to do when your show is called Roseanne.
Maybe they do a spinoff like Cheers and Frasier.
Yeah, spin that joint off and see what happens on the spinoff. Just call it the Connor family and call it a day.
Right. John Connor.
Okay, we're getting close to time and we didn't get very far because we keep getting sidetracked.
We can go into watching, man. What you been watching, dude?
I didn't talk about what I was playing.
Oh, you didn't talk about what you were playing?
No, you were talking about yours, and I never said what I played. Okay, real quick.
We did go on a tangent. Damn.
Yeah, super tangent. So I play Killing Floor like always. I don't have to speak very much more on there. They're going to do a patch on the update that restores some of the things and changes some other things. But it's PC only. And then I actually hooked my 360 up, and I played a little bit of NCAA football.
Huh.
And that shit just felt right. I loved NCAA football, and I hated when they had to shut it down because of the lawsuits and stuff. So I played some NCAA football, and one night I got a hankering to play some RimWorld, and I started playing RimWorld, and before I knew it, I was up to 2:00 in the morning when I had to work the next day.
That'll happen, man.
Yeah. So yeah, that did happen. So I am now over 200 hours in RimWorld. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. What I've been watching, I caught up on, all of my DC shows are caught up on. And last weekend I watched the last season of Orphan Black, which I love that show. I absolutely love that show.
Cool. Yeah, I remember you and Pimp talking about it a lot, but I never got a chance to really watch it.
Yeah,
because it was on
it's on Amazon.
Well, I have Amazon now. I should
Yeah, you should try it. It's great. There's something that y'all can watch together.
Cool.
So that's pretty much it for me, other than a shitload of YouTube, watching like painting videos and some gameplay stuff, all over the place. But yeah, I still watch a ton of YouTube.
Yeah, I watched a few more episodes of My Hero Academia. I'm trying to stretch it out. I don't really want to get caught up. So, but actually on back, I guess I'm watching, but back to kind of music. On Memorial Day, Max was like, "Have you seen the This Is America video?" I was like, "No, actually, I haven't watched it." So we all watched that together. So yeah,
okay.
I dug it, man. I dig the song too. Like the video was pretty spot on, man.
I don't think the song is that great without the video.
Right, because when it does get after the video, it does get stuck in your head, but you need to watch the video. Like that's the whole.
Yeah, like it doesn't
thing.
It doesn't pop the same without the visuals attached. But
right.
So here's my thing. And shout out to the dude I see on Facebook all the time, and I can't remember his name, and that's gonna bother the shit out of me. the most impressive thing about that video is the fact that the whole video, he is wearing church pants with no belt.
I thought he was actually wearing Confederate.
Church pants, like slacks.
Yeah.
Like, he is wearing church pants with no belt. And that is amazing. Like, doing all that dancing and shit, and he has no belt. That is amazing.
Yeah, and the kind of dancing he's doing, like all the...
It's mostly African dancing.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the, yeah.
I mean, he's moving them hips a lot, and those pants, they stay in place.
They stay in place? How? I don't know. It's just crazy.
The biggest thing I actually, when we were watching it, kind of got pointed out that a little side thing is like the whole joint thing, because nobody was really batting an eye when he was like shooting people and shit. Once he lit a joint, then he was running from the cops.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moment he takes it, he pauses and then lights up. Next thing you know, he's running for his damn life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's a lot of things that you can infer from it, but since he himself is not trying to explain it all, I think it adds to the mystique of it, and it makes it a little bit more in the kind of legendary category.
Yeah. What's a little cool about the song is that it does add some of his more experimental styles from like Awaken My Love, but then brings back some of the heavier beats from his earlier stuff.
No,
so it kind of
it's African music. Like it's not really the funk from Awaken My Love, but
I know, but it's still experimental and whatnot.
Yeah, it's experimental in the same way. I understand.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool song, but the song doesn't mean as much without the video. Like even when the song comes on when I'm in the car, like I'm envisioning what's happening in the video while I'm while I'm listening to the song away from the video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
I guess that's about it, man.
Okay. So I think we had a good run. Now here's the problem that I'm having.
Okay.
I'm having two problems. One, I really need to do that Patreon. Like, I really need to do that. And I keep saying I want to do it, and then I keep not actually doing it. But I definitely want to do a Patreon. And I don't know. We may have to move the show because
I was thinking
it's a
same thing too. Because this is a night that I could do some things at night or whatnot. But if we move it to like a Sunday or Monday night, those are nights that I'm never doing anything unless I'm streaming or something.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I'll be down with it, as long as it's not like, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday, or I'm pretty busy at night.
My only problem is now that this and Facetious are on the same day, it's a struggle not to say the same thing on both shows.
Right.
Because they're both happening like one after each other. I mean, there's a little bit of time in between, but like I'm struggling to find different things to say. So like the people who listen to both shows, it's a little bit of a problem because you're gonna hear me say a lot of the same shit, and I don't want people to get turned off by that. So if you listen to both shows and you think that'll bother you, then we will move this. I mean, I can still do this on Thursdays. I mean, the Thursday thing doesn't bother me. I just don't want I don't want people to be like, well, he's just going to say the same shit and then just tune out. So if you think that in any way, shape, or form, if you think this is going to bother you, hit us up. Let us know on the Twitters. All of the stuff is in the show notes. How to reach us and all that other stuff.
Cool deal, man.
Don't yawn, because you're gonna make me yawn, and I'm hungry. I'm too hungry to yawn. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I think I wanted to talk about the Pusha T and Drake beef, but like I don't think you listened to any of that shit really.
Well, I heard the little
other than the song on Pusha T's album.
Right.
Which was like shots fired. Drake responded, and it was like a pretty good response. And then Pusha T just killed him, bringing up like he went like deep, like he had an informant I mean, he had a straight up informant. Like, he was talking about all kinds of stuff, like Drake's family history, that Drake is hiding a child that he had with a porn star. Like, he went like deep. So like, find them shits. Find those tracks, and then we can. If Drake has to respond now. He has been responding, but not in a rap format. He's gonna have to rap.
Right.
He's gonna have to rap his way out of this. Like the memes shit that he did with Meek Mill. That's not gonna cut it here because you are up against an actual rapper. And so you're gonna have to rap your way out of this. If you can't rap your way out of this, you might be done on these streets.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to say that on Facetious, so that was new.
Cool.
All right, so so thank you to everyone for checking it out. Let us know what you think about possibly doing a Patreon. I ain't trying to hit nobody in the head, and I will put in. I am going to put in paintings on the Patreon. I'll do drawings, monthly drawings for different levels and different sizes of paintings, man. Just we really need to do something. And I think that's the best way to do it. I do have some videos in the can for painting videos, but I have not edited them. It's been about time management, and I have not been managing my time well.
Right.
So for the homie Chase. What you got?
Let's shout out Fred Rojas, because I think I might be on a bunch of podcasts over the weekend for E3, man.
Yeah, man, I really wish that I could do that. I really, but I got to work during E3, so it's gonna suck.
But I think I'm gonna skip out on like EA and like Nintendo shit, and I think I'm gonna do.
I never hear about Nintendo. Like this is my list right here.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft, Sony, EA, possibly UB, and that's pretty much my list. Those are the only ones that I truly care about watching. Everything else I can catch the press release or something like that. Those are the only ones that I care about watching. Like, I always like to see UB because UB be having some weird shit. Like, UB shit is all over the place.
Right. Especially their conferences.
Yeah, that's why I said the conferences. Those are only conferences I really care about watching.
Cool.
All right. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get some stuff taken care of. I'm supposed to be doing some things with Blue for E3, but that hasn't quite been ironed out yet. You're welcome to join. Anybody listening, you're welcome to join. Holla at your boy. So for the homie Chase, I'm Scarfinger. This is Scarcasm, and we're out of here. Peace out to the Warriors, y'all.
Later.
I like that shit, yeah, boy. I'm telling you, Whoa. I'm telling. All right, I ain't gonna talk.